Hello everybody and welcome back to Season 34 of the Pokemon Cup Series. Today we're here at Pocono Raceway for the running of the Gander Outdoors 400. Starting on the pole today we have the 78 of Ethan Wickenhauser, and on the outside will be the 24 of Brandon Thorpe. In row 2 it is the 11 of Grant McKee and the 51 of Gatlin Downey. In row 3 is Ian Canario and Michael Canto. Row 4 is Ryan Butcher and Carter Friesen, and running at your top 10 are Joseph Romanuk and our winner from the Coca-Cola 600 last weekend, Evan Hunter, starting in 10th position. Already with 3 wins this season, odds on the favorite to win the Pokemon Cup Series title, and he is just a rookie, so he is making all the headlines in this season, and we'll see if he can wrap it up with the championship or maybe even the regular season title. But we'll have the points. Just so you know, we will have the points revealed at the end of the regular season finale. I will not have points up until the regular season finale. I still have to work out a couple things, but I will have the points at the end of the regular season finale in Montegi, so we can crown our regular season champion in the Cup Series. So you won't be seeing points, but every winner gets into the playoffs regardless, so points are really almost unnecessary except for giving out playoff bonus points for the playoff drivers that made it. And yeah, we will go from there and see how many drivers we'll be eliminating every round until we get to 4 drivers remaining. So anyway, without further ado, let's take a trackside for the command to fire up the engines.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Keep an eye on your temps for this first segment. We shouldn't really be in danger of overheating, but it will, probably get up to about 220, so just keep an eye on that.
So here we go. Cars roll off here in the tricky triangle. This only has 3 turns. It's really fast and a really tough track to master. That's why they call it the tricky triangle. So these guys will face off for 20 laps of grueling racing here at Pocono in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. And the green flag waves in the Gander Outdoors 400 at Pocono. Looks like Ethan Wickenhauser is away on the first lap of the race. And Michael Cano has just moved up to 2nd position. Ryan Butcher, Brandon Thorpe are going to be left battling for 3rd place. And Ryan Butcher is the one that's going to be in 3rd now. There's the 92 Joseph Romanuk. Battling in the top 5 for the 24 car. But right now Ethan Wickenhauser pulling ahead on the 2nd lap of the race. It's still early though. Anything goes here at Pocono. Ian Canario is going to battle with Brandon Thorpe. Thorpe is not off to a great start, obviously, as he has fallen way back on the high line. He's stuck near the wall. So he's not having a good start right here, as you see the awesome views of Pocono Raceway. Very nice track to run in. We've had X and truck races here. And next weekend we'll be at Watkins Glen International, by the way. So it'll be their 2nd road course race of the season for the Cup Series. The home track of Pichu, by the way, I thought I might add, Watkins Glen, New York. That's going to be different from Pocono. That's going to be a road course. That's the 2nd one of the week. Like I said, it's the Cup Series' 2nd road course trip. And there'll be a couple more road course trips, more than 2, throughout the entire season. especially in the World Tour. We're gonna have the World Tour very soon. And that's gonna be around all across the country. That's gonna be all around the world. I mean, not country, world. Sure, gonna be a lot of fun to do the World Tour. So Ryan Butcher is now in third place as Ethan Wickenhauser is continuing to pull away over Michael Canto, trying to give Furniture Row their first win of the season. Surprisingly, Furniture Row does not have a win so far. Comparison to Roush, by the way, Roush has one win with James Richardson. Martinsville, by the way, I thought I might add, Richardson won Martinsville. Cano is yet to win a race. So hopefully we'll see if Michael Cano can finally win today. And there's Ryan Butcher in the new number 8 car of RCR. It is a Dale Jr. scheme I recently found online. It's the Budweiser All-Star Game scheme from 2001. I had to find another version of the 8 car, a different one, and this was probably the only one I could find. I'm sure there's a regular Budweiser 8 scheme out there with the Manix 18 car, design. But for now we're using the Bud number 8. There's Joseph Romanuk running in the 4th position. Romanuk was a winner earlier this season. 92, by the way, he won at Michigan. So Romanuk, the former champion, running well in the top 5. And there's Graham McHugh, another rookie in this series, trying to get his first win here today. The 11 car has been strong and has been real tough. But Joe Gibbs is yet to win this season, which is very shocking. This late in the season, they have yet to win a race. A very shocking surprise. There's Yin Canario in the 21. He has not won either, so he's trying to hopefully finally get a race win here today. And he just went past Gatlin Downey. There's Evan Hunter. We talked about him earlier. Hunter won the Coca-Cola 600 last weekend and for his 3rd win of the season. One of the very few drivers to win both the Daytona 500 and the Coca-Cola 600. The Southern 500 is next, and he was really looking forward to getting the win there. It'll be a tough track though, Darlington. As you know, it is the track Too Tough to Tame. We've seen a lot of interesting finishes and a lot of crashes here at Darlington, so we can't wait for that race to happen. So leaders come to pit road right now on lap 8. This means they'll probably have one more stop later on in the race. These guys stay out though, and the leader is now DJ Kirker, fouling with John Mendez. I think Mendez already has a win this season, and Kirker yet to win so far in the in season 34. Now you see the 2 car, that is Igor Barreto, and that's Igor Barreto in 3rd, and Evan Hunter and Patrick Smith are the other ones that stayed out. Look who's off first pit road. Looks like Ethan Wickenhauser is off first off pit road. John Mendez gonna try to stay out again. He wants to stretch it to make this to make it perfectly, possibly a one-stop race. So Wickenhauser is off. The other cars are coming off pit road too. And there's the leader, John Mendez. Mendez gonna have to try his best to stretch it out to just one pit stop, but I think he's probably gonna be a lap short on fuel if he decides to pit on this lap. If he stays out for another lap, maybe he can take a chance. But I don't think he's going to do it. And he won't do it, so it looks like Mendez, it looks like he's not going to push it to one more lap. And here he comes onto pit road now. He's going to make his first of possibly 2 pit stops. Might be a 2 pit stop. This might be a 2 pit stop race. Thomas, phone's off. Hold on. again. I'm back now after after that, so I do apologize for that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to edit that out. But either way, though, Ethan Wickenhauser is the leader again, so the pit stop cycle for the first time. Again, we might see a two-stop race here at Pocono if the caution does not come out, though. And so far, we haven't seen a single yellow today. Very unusual because the last couple Pocono races, we've had a lot of wrecks. So surprised to see that this one is caution-free so far. In terms of racing, it's a big improvement. Instead of every track being a wreck fest, we have all the cars running caution-free, and all the cars just are still running. Yeah, it's always nice to see all 40 cars run and finish the race on the lead lap, because they're all competing for the same thing. Here we go again. Hello? Yes, he's in the kitchen. Welcome. Okay. Sorry about that again. I don't know what's been going on today. It's been crazy while I'm doing these races. You see how busy I am now? Anyway, Joseph Romanek has just taken 4th place from DJ Kirker. John Mendes is still running with a top 10 car. Thanks to his pit strategy, he's now up to the top 10. Or maybe he can be in the top 5. He just made it. As Mendes running on fresher tires than the other leaders, but still got a wide margin to go. So here comes Mendes, going to pass the 92 for 4th place, and he's going to do it. John Mendes takes the 4th position. 8 laps to go, and Barretto just moved up to 5th. Wickenhauser has so far led almost every lap except for the ones that he gave up for pit stops. So he's not really so Wickenhauser has not really led wire to wire, but he has led most of the laps today. 7 to go. A caution can really change things up. Looks like one car's out of the race. The 48 just went down. Oh no, never mind. He's moved up, so I don't know. I guess the 48 just moved up. I have no clue. Wow, that would be quick. Oh, they're taking their pit stops now. Okay. 7 laps to go. They might as well take it now before the caution comes out. So at least they'll be good until the yellow comes out, but is the strategy going to work? Because a handful of cars are not pitting early. John Mendes especially. Mendes stays, and he's going to try to stretch out a few more laps in his tires and fuel. Same for Barretto, same for Kirker, and other drivers. There's Grayson Acevedo running 40th, by the way. He's a lap down, unfortunately, so he has a problem for the 48 car today, and the only one a lap down right now in the race. But all 40 cars still running somehow. And Igor Barretto's going to take the pit stop right here. So Barretto's on his 2nd stop. Kirker's on his 2nd stop. There's Hunter Smith. And oh, look at this. Jonathan Fast going to stay out. Okay. I guess Jonathan Fast is also playing the same game as Mendes. So, drivers coming off pit road right now, and Mendes is going to put him a lap down. That is Marcus Sacchi, Carter Friesen, Giovanni Castillo, Zachary Fitzwater, Christian Vargas. I see he has some damage in his car. He must have gotten into a collision with Acevedo, but no caution ever came out. 5 laps to go, and John Mendes might have to come to pit road on this lap. Looks like he will. So John Mendes is going to pit with just 5 to go at Pocono. So much for having a caution to his favor. Is Jonathan Fast going to join him? So, unfortunately, they're not going to get a caution to their favor. I guess they try to stay out in hopes of a yellow coming out. They can probably save a little bit of more fuel and tires and probably try to gamble. But there was no yellow, so they're going to have to take pit stops and put on the new tires and fuel. Who's going to lead the race now? Uh-oh, Diego Yepes has a problem, and he's really slow. Diego Yepes, there you see his engine goes down. I don't know if he's going to make it on the pit road under safe speed. I don't know if anyone's going to be able, is going to hit him on his way to pit road, but Diego Yepes, the car just could not, the car overheats, and Yepes is going to have to come down and his day is over. So I guess he's the first driver out of the race here today. So much for a perfect 40 car day. Wow, a tough break for Diego Yepes as he blows the engine up and unfortunately is out of contention. Where are the other cars? Is John Mendes out of pit road already? No. Never mind. I thought... oh yeah, Mendes is out already. He's in 3rd place. Still pretty... a pretty interesting strategy for John Mendes. He just... unfortunately, he's not going to win today. Unless if overtime comes in and he might have another chance at the 78. He'll be on the bottom lane, which is always the best lane in almost every NR Town 3 track we go to. So, no worries about him. That's always the best lane. So now John Mendes is going to try to hold him off 3rd, and Cano and Wickenhauser are still on the top 2. Just 2 to go for the 78 of Ethan Wickenhauser. He was formerly known as Ethan Wicken, and he had a handful of Cup wins, and he'll be the 2nd driver to win under 2 different names, believe it or not, in the Cup Series. Nick Alton and Nick Altendorf, I should say. Yeah, Nick Alton / Nick Altendorf was the first one to win under 2 different names, but both are the same user and driver, believe it or not. Nick Altendorf dropped the Dorf to his name and won another race as Nick Alton. But this time, Ethan Wicken added Hauser to his name, to his last name, without the hyphen, and just put it into a single name after Wicken. And he's still running really well. So, here we go, coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go for Ethan Wickenhauser. Ethan Wickenhauser is going to try to win here today in the 78, and it's been a long time since Ethan Wickenhauser has won a race. Oh yeah, I forgot Ethan Jones, I believe. I don't know his original last name before that, but Ethan Sale, I should say. Ethan Sale changed his name before, in the middle of a season, and he won with Ethan Sale, and then he became, Ethan Sale, I forgot his other last name before Sale. But I know Ethan Wickenhauser is going to undergo another name. He'll be the 3rd driver with a different name, to have his name change in the middle of the season, and win the race. But anyway, off the final corner, Ethan Wickenhauser wins at Pocono. The 78 just could not be stopped the entire race, other than pit stops, but Wickenhauser played it perfectly. From the pole position, he dominates at Pocono. What a run for that 78 team. At long last, they have a win in the Pokemon Cup Series. That huge team finally is a winner. Finally has won a Pokemon Cup race here in Season 34 and are going to be playoff contenders. So now it looks like Joe Gibbs is going to have to do some little bit of catching up if they want to win a race here and have at least one of their drivers make it into the playoffs. So the final results are on the screen, and Diego Yepes, the only driver, was out of the race from that, and it was a piston. His piston went down in the middle of the race, and unfortunately he didn't finish it. But other than that, every driver finished on the lead lap. So it was a clean, caution-free race at Pocono, which was unusual, but Ethan Wickenhauser was able to hold off the field on pit stops and win here today at Pocono Raceway. The Gander Outdoors 400 has wrapped up. Next weekend, it'll be the return of the Glen, the home track of Pichu London and of Luke and Leia Walker, of course. They'll be running their home track at the Glen, and they'll have 3 different series run there. All 3 series will be running at Watkins Glen. It'll be the second road course of the season for the Cup Series, and I believe it's going to be the second road course for the Truck Series as well, and for the X Series too. So the X Series after the Glen, they'll actually head to another road course after the Glen. The X Series will run in Mid-Ohio, so that's going to be fun to watch. And the Truck still has a couple road courses on the schedule too. They have Canadian Tire as well. They'll run alongside the Cup Series when the Cup goes there to Canada, and a double weekend there. And one more thing, Mexico's going to have a double weekend, but that'll be in an oval with the X Series and Cup Series. That'll be in Ovalo Juarez in Mexico. So the Cup is going to both Mexico and Canada, and it's been a long time since they went to both countries in the same season. So I can't wait for the Cup Series to return to Mexico, and I also can't wait for the Cup Series to run in Canada again at Canadian Tire alongside the Truck Series. Canadian Tire has always been a fun race to do for the Cup Series with these Cup cars, so we can't wait for that to start the World Tour. And just so you know, I believe the World Tour this season for the Cup, will also be heading to Australia at Calder Park Raceway, the home track of Zachary Fitzwater. Oh, by the way, Patrick Smith and Daniel Bouchard, their home is at, and I believe Robert Smith too, if I'm not mistaken. But Patrick Smith and Daniel Bouchard also have run their home track at Canadian Tire. Zach Fitzwater is in Australia. Mexico, no one there, but Mexico, of course, yeah. And then there's also Rockingham, UK, which is the home of Nathan Hudson, former Cup driver. And then for the Cup, and there's Brazil. Brazil will replace Argentina on the schedule. Brazil is going to be in the new road course that just recently opened in Café Norte in Brazil. So it's going to be the Cup Series is going to have their first race in Brazil since season 3, when we ran in the Emerson Fittipaldi Oval. That race was forgettable, but hopefully the road course version will be a lot better. Then we will end the World Tour, continuing on World Tour subject. I'm trying to remember what other Cup tracks they'll go to in the World Tour. They're going to go to the Bajkarneki. Yeah, Bajkarneki in Latvia. So Bajkarneki is always fun to run in the European road course. Very fast track. And I can't wait for that race either. And finally, the regular season finale. World Tour wraps up too. The regular season wraps up at Twin Ring Motegi in Japan. Japan is always a fun track at Motegi. It's always a thrill ride, and it's going to have a lot of intensity with at least one more playoff spot on the line potentially, given to the winner in the Cup Series, since there's no cap to how many playoff drivers we can have in all 3 series anymore. So that's going to be a really, really important race for all of them that didn't win this season to win at Motegi, and only one of them could possibly lock his or her spot into the playoffs with a win at Motegi. That's going to be a lot of fun, and a lot is on the line there. So hope you enjoyed our race from Pocono. Next weekend, like I said, I'm sorry it went a little bit long, but anyway, I just wanted to explain some things. After Watkins Glen, I will have a huge announcement regarding all 3 series. So after I do the Cup race at the Glen, I will have a big announcement for you guys. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm going to wait until the Cup Series at the Glen after that race, when the checkered flag flies, to give you guys the big announcement. It's a huge announcement. It is regards to all 3 series. You don't want to miss it. So next weekend at the Glen, I will have an announcement at the very end of the Cup race there. So we'll see all 3 of the series at Watkins Glen next weekend, and we hope you enjoy the Pocono race. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified of when races are up for Cup, X, and Trucks. And we'll see you guys all next time at Watkins Glen.